Let's learn about creating listings for the data marketplace. In the last lesson in lab, we saw Lottie browsing the Snowflake data marketplace as a consumer. Lottie chose a set of weather data provided by WeatherSource. After making use of WeatherSource's standard listing, she's decided she wants to work with WeatherSource to get personalized data. She submitted a request through the data marketplace requesting additional zip codes from Acme's marketing area. After a few conversations with a WeatherSource rep, Lottie receives a customized share that includes historic weather data for just the zip codes and dates that interest her. Osiris and Max have also browsed the data marketplace, and they're both interested in becoming data providers on the marketplace. Max calls his Snowflake account exec to get a demo. Osiris decides to start by researching the process using Snowflake's online documentation. A Snowflake rep visits Max and his team at Autodata Unlimited. Max and the team want to learn about the process for getting their data up on the marketplace. At the meeting, the Snowflake rep lays out the essential qualities a data set needs to have in order to qualify for inclusion. To be listed in the marketplace, a data set has to be fresh, meaning some portion of the data is from the recent past. Non-static, meaning it will continue to be updated in the future. Real, so it can't be mocked up data. Compliant, so no data that's protected by privacy or other laws. And legally distributable. In other words, it has to be data the provider is allowed by law to make available to others. Max is certain that his data meets the qualifying criteria for the marketplace, and he's excited to move forward. The Snowflake rep explains that the next step will be to sign a data sharing agreement, so Max suggests a follow-up meeting. Meanwhile, Osiris's team has started their process in a different way. They've chosen to start with research and planning. They've read Snowflake's online documentation covering data marketplace topics, and Osiris has pulled together his team to start planning their listings. After browsing the data marketplace together and discussing what they've learned, the team decides that, like many data providers, they want to begin by offering two listings. One listing will be standard and the other will be personalized. The team decides their ISO table would be great as a part of the standard listing. They'll offer it for free, which will help the company get the attention of other Snowflake customers. They're hoping the free data will generate some new customer leads. The personalized listing will require more research and planning, so Osiris decides to assign action items to team members. They'll split the tasks into 3 groups. One will focus on the listings, another will focus on coordinating with Snowflake, and a third will focus on preparing the data. To develop the text, queries, and links for the listing, they'll use the guidelines detailed at docs.snowflake.com. To get the ball rolling with Snowflake, they'll visit www.snowflake.com/data-marketplace and fill out a form. As for the work on the data, the team will need to develop 2 new outbound shares. You'll be working with this team. The hands-on portion of this lesson is more than a lab. It's made up of 3 sections. First, you'll review your account to make sure you have all the objects, accounts, and credentials from earlier labs that you need in this one. If anything is missing, we'll encourage you to revisit earlier labs and bring your account into alignment. The second hands-on portion we're calling a Share Design Overview. You'll want to read this section to understand a design pattern that Snowflake encourages providers to use to customize data shares for each consumer in a secure, efficient, and easy to manage way. If you're a seasoned data professional, you'll be able to move through the design section really quickly. And if you're new to database modeling, you might want to take your time and make sure that you understand the concepts discussed. During the Share Design Overview, it is not necessary to run the code that you're looking at. Just read the code samples and try to make sense of them. In the third portion, you'll be running most of the code samples that you looked at in the design section, and you'll be creating the 2 shares that Osiris's team needs as a foundation for their data marketplace listings.